All right. I think we're good. I think I like this setup. I think I finally figured out I got TikTok here. I got YouTube here. Let me another mic because I got my earphones for YouTube and I need my mic for TikTok. So let's go. Let's get started. Got my mic going for TikTok. Got my earphones for YouTube. I just want to see how this goes. I want YouTube to see TikTok. I want TikTok to see YouTube. If you didn't know about us, there you go. Say what's up to each other. And that's how it is. So what's going on, guys? Hold on. Let me figure all this out. There we go. All right. If you're on YouTube or if you hop over to YouTube, drop a comment in the chat. If you're on TikTok, you know how it goes. What's going on, guys? And let's get started. So before questions come through TikTok, I'm going to talk about a little bit about the PT School application. I'm going to rap about that a little bit. Then as questions come in, we will tackle the questions. So if you're new here, get your questions ready. If you're not new here and you've been on a live before, you know how it goes. If you want your question answered, drop them as soon as possible. Because once the questions get rolling, they get rolling pretty quickly, and I have to scroll in and find your questions. So drop your questions if you have them. First off, we had our masterclass today. It was crazy. It was like 360, 70-ish people at the height of the live stream. So 300 plus, almost 400 pre-PTs were on the live stream today for the pre-PT acceptance masterclass. If you want to catch the replay, go to the link in our bio and click the first link, the acceptance masterclass replay. So you can check that out. We had a special offer at the end. So if you want to learn about that, hop to it real. Class was amazing. It was crazy. And a lot of other pre-PTs just leveled up and joined the accepted system. So make sure you catch the replay. If you didn't, link is the first link in the bio. So it's there. It is there for you. What's going on, YouTube? Drop a comment below and we'll get chatting. We'll get started. So with the PT School application, what I really wanted to touch on quickly. Oh, here we go. We might just get going. We'll see how many questions come through. But what was your major in undergrad? So to get to this question, my major in undergrad was exercise science, health sciences with an emphasis in exercise science. Something like that, but it's all pretty much the same. Kinesiology, exercise science, all that is pretty much the same. But so that was my major in undergrad. But for the PT application cycle, I wanted to touch on a little bit about applying too early versus applying too late. If you guys have questions, keep them coming here or keep them coming on YouTube. But applying too early versus applying too late, because that's really the dichotomy that a lot of students have is, oh my gosh, the application cycle didn't open yet. Am I too early? Or, oh my gosh, it did open, or I'm way behind, or I don't have enough classes. Is it too late? It's like both people are on both ends of the spectrum, and it's a little funny because really it's no to both of them and it's yes to both of them. It really depends on your situation. So really, for the first part, are you too early when you're applying to PT school? Some things you need to keep in mind with if you're applying too early, or if you think you're applying too early, is number one, or a bunch of number ones in this first category, are you even making sure your requirements are done? Are you making sure that you're close to completing your requirements? Yes, no, maybe so. Do you know what the requirements are? Because if you don't have them done or you're not working on, then you might be a little too early. You just might be a little too early, because if you apply and you have half of it not done, then they're going to automatically reject you with their computer system, because they want life to be as easy as them as possible. So think of it like this. If you're in their shoes and you're in the department chair shoes and you have 1,000 applicants coming your way, how are you going to make it as easy as possible on yourself? You're going to set up a computer system. You're going to filter out all the people who didn't complete everything or didn't pay attention to directions or didn't meet the requirements, so you can focus heavily on the people who you can actually choose to accept. So that's the first thing there. You have to make sure that your requirements are pretty much done, okay, or getting close to done. Now we can go down that whole road. There's a whole bunch we can talk about there, but that's that first thing. Now, with those requirements, a big thing is having your bachelor's degree done as well. Because in order to apply to PT school, like pretty much all of them that I know, unless it's a 3+3 program, you have to make sure that you have your bachelor's degree. You got to have that degree, then you can apply. So if you don't have your bachelor's degree or you're not in a 3+3 program, then it's just too early. If you're a sophomore, if you're a junior, all that stuff, you're just too early. That's just how it is. So now, moving on to if you're too late. Number one, if you don't meet the deadline, or if it's after the deadline, I should say, you're too late. 11:59 Eastern time is what PTCast goes through, is what PTCast uses. You're too late. You are too late. Then secondly, with this too late thing, if the deadlines are approaching, or if you're past the deadlines and the classes are filling up, you could be potentially too late as well. That's what you need to focus on. Are the classes filling up and do they have rolling admissions? Is it full? Did you wait until January 2nd or January 15th to apply when their application has been open since July of that year, that previous year? Not saying it's definitely too late, but it could be. So that's one side of that argument. Then the next one, most people think they're too late in regards to age. Oh, I'm 28. Oh, I'm 37. Oh, I'm 42. Is it too late? No, not at all. But that's more of a personal subjective thing you have to think about. If you think you're too late, then you might be too late. But PT is going to be there. Think about this. In 5 years, 10 years, 7 years, whatever that is for you, are you going to look back and say, man, I should have applied then. Man, I should have got in then. Man, I should have tried then because I still don't like what I'm doing, even after 5 years later. And if I tried, I'd be in a much different place. I'd be living my dream as a physical therapist. So that's what you have to think about when you think about, is it too late? So I just want to touch on those as questions came through a little bit because I know that question's going to come up soon. All right, let's start with YouTube, then we'll go with TikTok. So what's going on, Tommy? How's it going? Is there still a benefit to applying early to a school that does not have early decision or rolling admissions, maybe less competition? So is there a benefit to still applying early? So with applying early, yes, there's a benefit for yourself. That's really one of the biggest benefits there, especially if you're going to have all of your requirements in by that deadline time or before that deadline time. So for example, let's just say the deadline for that school is October 15th, but you're like, I have all my stuff in and I'm ready and it's August 15th. You can still apply. You don't have to wait until that deadline. And that benefit is going to be to you. And the school is still going to see when that application came through as well. So it's still going to be a date on there and they'll say, oh, snap, Tommy was ready 2 months early. So it still can benefit you, but it's just not the same benefit as a rolling admissions or an early decision. So that's a good question. That's a very good question. There is a benefit. Number one for you, think about yourself. You are the consumer here. It's your mental health, it's your physical health, all that stuff. So it's going to benefit you. Then yes, it still can benefit your application from what they see as well. So if you're still on, hope that helped. Good question. And if you have any follow-ups, feel free to drop them in the YouTube comments. Stop this. We'll see where this goes. We'll see how it goes. We'll keep rocking with it. Let's go, TikTok. Let's see what you got here. So how is paying off loans? Oh no, I think I lost the YouTube. We'll see. How is paying off loans depends on you and your situation. So we do a halfway to debt-free summit every summer. So check out for that in August. And we have a whole day. We have a whole summit regarding loans and debt and finances and all that stuff. So if you type in net present value and physical therapy into YouTube, into Google, it's the same thing. If you type in net present value physical therapy, you'll see a study. And that study says, I forgot when it was done, but the study basically is saying if you can keep your debt under 87,000, 90,000, it's better than um, getting a physical therapy degree has a better ROI, meaning return on investment, than some other healthcare professions. Then, if you keep it below $150,000 in debt for physical therapy school, it's better than a little bit less of other healthcare professions. Then, once you get like to 200K, 250, it's like it gets to a point where it makes no sense to get it as opposed to getting a bachelor's degree. That's what the study is basically saying. You can go into too much debt trying to be a physical therapist, can keep it under 150. It's better than getting getting a license in this healthcare profession, or it's a few. Then if you keep it under 90, then it's better than this. Then the list goes on and on. Then of course, 0 is the best. So I want you to look at that study. That should give you a lot of insight, but it really depends on what your earning potential is going to be and how much you can make and how much charge you take over your license. You can't be handing your license over to somebody else saying, oh, pay me this much because I think I'm worth it and because I paid this much. You can start your own thing, but you need to take charge over your license and how much you get paid so that you don't have a hard time paying off student loans. That's a whole live stream in itself. We've talked about that a lot. That's a whole thing, but good question. Good question. Have you ever failed or had to drop a class? If so, how has that affected you? I have not failed a class. I have not had to drop a class, but as a pre-PT and in physical therapy school as well, I have gotten the lowest test grade multiple times. So I haven't totally failed a class. I haven't had to drop it. But, and I've been rejected from physical therapy school before. So I've been rejected from physical therapy school, but that doesn't answer your question. But I've gotten the lowest test grade multiple times in physical therapy school and as a pre-PT. So how has it affected me? Basically, for me, it pretty much lit a fire under my butt, saying like, you got to get your stuff in order. Like, you can't pout about this. You can't sulk about it, because if you do, especially in PT school, that next test is coming in 2 days. You gotta get going. Like an athlete, if they miss a 3-pointer or if they drop a touchdown pass, they got to forget it. They have to have a very short memory so that they can keep it pushing. So that's how it affected me. It lit a fire under me. I know some people, it might affect them different ways, but that's how it affected me. It made me get to work. Let's see. If you say you don't have a bachelor's degree, you're too early. You mean you can't apply in your last year of it. So you can apply in your last year, yes. But if you don't have your bachelor's degree by the time you start physical therapy school, they won't accept you. So yes, you can apply before your senior year, graduate in May of your senior year, start PT school in August. But by the time you started PT school, you have your bachelor's degree. So yes, good question. So I can clarify that. Good question. No. But yes, you can apply before you get your bachelor's degree, but you have to have gotten it by the time you start physical therapy school. All right. Let's see here. All right, we're good. I want to be a PT so bad. You can do it. You can do it. I'm worried my AP exams this year will ruin my chances. AP grades don't count. So that's a good thing. AP grades don't count. I'm pretty sure, I'm thinking of the PTCast webpage in my mind. Pretty sure AP classes don't count within your GPA for physical therapy school. I don't think they count those classes as grades. So you might be in luck. You might be in luck, Mike. Do you need to be a kinesiology exercise science major? No, you can be whatever major you want. It does not matter your major, YouTube. TikTok, it does not matter your major. You can be whatever major you want. Then apply to PT school. As long as you have your requirements, as long as you have your bachelor's degree, as long as you have what they want, there is no rule. There is nothing that says you have to be this degree. Now, with those kind of degrees, kinesiology and exercise science, they help because a lot of the prerequisite classes are already in that major. So your physics, anatomy, chem, med, terminology, statistics, a lot of stuff is already within that major. of exercise science, kinesiology, biology, and stuff. So that's why a lot of people do it. But it's not required. The person I sat to a long time in physical therapy school was a music major. So you can do whatever you want as long as you have what they want. Let us see. Let us see. Do you know of any good places to take prereqs online? Yes. I can't think of any off my head. Portage Learning Center. Oh, yes, I do have a list. DM me. And if anybody knows, if anybody like has a list or can name them off the top of their head, put it in the chat. But I do have a list. Just DM me. If you're DMing me on TikTok, make sure your privacy settings are open. But if you send me a message, I can rattle off some to you when I look. But Portage Learning Center, some other schools around the country, a lot of them you can take, especially since COVID. A lot of schools you can take prereqs online, and a lot of PT schools accept them now. Always double check, but should be good. All right, let's see. Been accepted. That would allow me to start this summer or attend state school, apply starting in 2025. Military will pay for a state school, not for the hybrid. Finish 2 years early. So this is more of a financial question. It's really depending on what is your life situation. So the question from YouTube is talking about if they're in a situation where they can go to one school where the military will help pay for it, or they can go to another school where the military will not help pay for it. It's going to be close to 80 grand, but they would finish 2 years earlier. Or yes, if they pay the 80 grand, they would be finished 2 years earlier. If they wait for the state school, which the military would pay for, they would finish 2 years later. So it really depends what's going on in your life. What's your life situation? Do you have children? Do you have a spouse? Can you wait? While you're waiting, can you work? How important is getting your DPT degree 2 years earlier? Do you know that physical therapy school is going nowhere? Do you have other plans that you can? Do you have other plans with the $78,000? Can you use that $78,000 as and see it as an opportunity cost benefit to put that money somewhere else and help it grow over the next 2 years in real estate or stocks or crypto or fine art or a small business? What is your situation? Because this is like more of a financial advisor type of questions. And these are things you have to think through for what you want out of your life. It's just really, what are those 2 years worth to you? Are those 2 years worth $80,000? If they are, great. If they're not, then you can wait and put that money you'd make in the meantime to use and put that time to use before you start 2 years from now. So it's a great question, but I definitely recommend either you can ask us more context, or if you want to get into the nitty gritty of the numbers, definitely see a financial advisor or someone you trust to talk about money with. But that's a good situation. That's a good problem to have that you're dealing with. But it's a lot to think about. It's a lot to think about. Good question. Good question. I have a visual disability. Is there any programs that I can use to my aid? Like any physical therapy programs? I'm guessing you mean like study programs. I do not know right off. That's a great question. Programs for visual disability to your aid. I'm not sure. I have no problem with saying I don't know. I do not know. That's a great question. If you DM me as well, I can do a little digging after the live streams. But great question. When do you start applying for PT and OT school? I know for PT school, if you're that textbook traditional student, meaning like you're going all the way through undergrad, and you want to start physical therapy school right after you graduate and you get 2 months off, then you start physical therapy school again, you apply before your senior year. I assume the same thing with OT school. The OT school deadlines might be a little different. And I believe OT schools need a bachelor's degree as well. I have to double check on that. But for PT school, if you want to do it right after school, it would be before your senior year. 78K would be student loans. Yeah. It would be it would be student loans, and it doesn't seem like the military would pay or help pay for the private school, right? So it's something to think about. It's something to think about. Something to think about. It's a good problem to have. A lot of people on these live streams would love to be in your situation. So good situation to be in. It might not feel like it, but it is. I know OT and PT are similar in schooling. Do you know if all this info is similar to OT school? Great question. So we actually had some OT students join our accepted system today. So yes, pretty much 95% of the information is similar. The only difference really is with OTCAS and the deadlines for OT school. So with PTCAS and physical therapy schools, we know when PTCAS opens, it's pretty strict, it's pretty by the books, it's pretty, you know when all the deadlines are, it's set up pretty nicely. With OT deadlines and OTCAS, it just might be a little different on the technical side. But everything else, all the advice, all the essays, all the interview stuff, all the letters of recommendation, how you think about learning about these schools, the student debt and all that you have to think about, all of that is the same. It's only that last little bit with the deadlines and OTCAS is what is different. That's really it. Want to major in psych and minor in biology. I am a bio major right now and it's hard. Don't be afraid of things being hard. That's what I got to say to that. Don't be afraid of things being hard. It should be hard. You're trying to get into a doctorate level program. They're going to make you earn your doctorate. You're going to be Dr. So-and-so. It should be hard. It's not going to be easy. If it was easy, and everybody would apply and all that stuff. They need to put obstacles in the way to make it easier on them when they're choosing. Who can get through bio and psych if you're doing a double major or a major in a mile? Who can get through history? Who can get through physics? Who can do all of this while having a girlfriend or a boyfriend or working a job or taking care of their, who can get through all of this? Because it's going to be 100 times harder in physical therapy school. So don't be afraid of things being hard. That's all I got to say to that. I want to major in psych and minor. Oh, got that one. I've been considering doing a business minor to help just widen my reach on PT. If you want, that's fine. You can also do a business minor on YouTube or on TikTok or on Twitter. There's a lot of business gems on Twitter. So if you want to do a business, was it minor? Go for it. If it's already within your tuition and all that. But I'm telling you, business has changed, and I don't think schools are keeping up with teaching you about how business is really ran. So just keep that in mind. What exam do you need for PT school? So standardized tests, I assume you mean you need the GRE. If you're talking about physical therapy school, in order to graduate, or sorry, in order to get your license, you need your NPTE. You need to take the NPTE, National Physical Therapy Examination. So I hope I answered both of those. Oh yeah, you take the GRE. Baylor's PT program accredited. I saw it was an accredited school starting in January. I believe so. Yes, I believe they already had class graduate. I believe they're accredited. I know they were in the candidacy mode for a long time. Not a long time, but for the past couple of years that we've been paying attention to it. So they should be accredited now. Just shoot them an email or check on the captonline.org or ptcast.org. They should have updated information, but they should be accredited. 100 times harder. Yeah. Don't be scared of hard. Don't be scared of hard work. There's nothing wrong with a little hard work. There's nothing wrong with it. There's nothing wrong with it. Things don't get easier. You just get better, or whatever people say, right? San Diego State doesn't seem to be accredited on APTA. What does that mean if you graduate from there? So I believe San Diego State is. They're just not on PTCAS. If that's what you're talking about. Because I know San Diego State hasn't been on PTCAS for a while. I don't think they're ever going to be. So they're not on PTCAS, but that does not mean they're not accredited. I'm pretty sure San Diego State's been around a good while, so they should be accredited. So just double check that. Send them an email. But if they're not accredited, that means that you cannot take the National Physical Therapist examination, and you'll just be stuck with your doctorate degree, but not a license. And you need your license to bill Medicare and Medicaid and patients and all the legal stuff. Um, so yeah, good question though. I'm a PT aide, and I want to go into athletic training and PT. I would love to pursue both. None stopping you. Who's this? Who we got here? Lydia, nothing stopping you. Nothing stopping you. Have a requirement for a 6'3" quarterback. Some NBA teams are in the hunt for a point guard. Some are in the hunt for a center or a power forward. Some PT schools want a super high GPA. Some don't really care, and they'll take a range from a 2.8 to a 4.0. So it's good enough. Over across the board, if you go to the PTCast applicant data report, a 3 kind of that average across many schools. Just got a PT tech job. Is that good? Is that a good start to help get me into PT school? Nothing wrong with that. Good start. Good start. Just make sure that you do all the other foundational stuff. Don't think that being a PT tech is your shoe-in to get you into PT school. Just, oh, I'm a PT tech. Accept me. It's a good start, like you said. Great start. But it definitely isn't everything. But yeah, good start. Does a PT tech significantly increase your chances? There you go. See, I'm way ahead. I'm way ahead. Way ahead. It doesn't significantly increase your chances. I was never a PT tech. Joseph was never a PT tech. It's just a job. Yeah, you're in the PT clinic. You know a little bit more. You're around it. You know that's what you want to do. But it's just a job. PT tech is just a job. Any online inpatient observation hour opportunities? I do not. I do not know of any. We're working on it though. So if we find some, if we can collab with some people, then we'll let you guys know. But we do not know of any online inpatient, meaning in the hospital, observation hours. Not yet. Good GRE score, 300. 150 on verbal, 150 on quant, around the 4. Did I work during physical therapy school? Yes. Every day. I'm working now, all day, all the time. So that never stopped. After high school, I've been working all the time. So yes, I worked in PT school, but all the work I did in PT school surrounded and was flexible around PT school. So my jobs weren't rigid. My jobs were being a golf caddy, which I can do at any time, driving Uber, driving Lyft. I played drums for the church on campus, which was on the weekends. There was like one practice a week. If I couldn't make it, I couldn't make it. So things like that. I was a social media director. I was a publications director. I was a staff writer, like for blogs and stuff. I started pre-PT grind in PT school. That's a lot in PT school. So yes, don't let nobody tell you you can't work. But if you're thinking of work in PT school as I have to be a PT tech in the clinic 6 hours a day, strictly from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. or 4 p.m., whatever, you're going to have a conflict. You're going to have a little challenge. So you can. Certain schools that are easier to get into, like the standards, you're talking about GPA mostly. So you can go to our GPA data report. Link is in the bio. Scroll to the bottom, and you can see the different ranges of the school. But just know that the lower, easier schools, they still want good applicants. So let's just say you have a 3.1, and you're like, oh, snap, it's an easier school to get into. Other students might have a 3.1 as well, but they might have other better things around that. If you're like, oh, I have a 3.1 and average everything else, average letters, average essays, no different opportunities, or sorry, experiences, observation out, like all the stuff that surrounds it, your interview sucks, or, all that stuff, then you're still going up against other students that have the same GPA as you. So stats wise, they could be easier, but just be careful. I don't want you, my only fear with it is like, oh, they're easier. All right, let me just slack off on everything else. That's my only fear with it. But yes, there are stats-wise easier schools to get into. Link is in the bio. GPA data report. Scroll a little bit, and you'll find it. Good GRE score, 300, 150 verbal, 150 quant, around 4.0 analytical writing. How many hours per day do you invest in PT school, and what does that entail? So how many hours a day did I, so I'm a physical therapist now. I graduated in 2018. I didn't even track my hours. Like, oh, how many hours a day do you work, or how many hours do you study? I just did it. I just did it. Whatever needed to be done, however long or short it took, I just got it done. So it's hard for me to say, oh, I studied 3 hours a day every day after class, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, then 2 hours a day, Tuesday, Thursday, then 1 hour a day on the weekends. I just didn't work like that. If it needed to be done, it needed to be done as quickly or as long as it took. So that's how I invested in it. So some people may look at that as like, oh, you invested a lot. A couple nights I had to stay up till 2 a.m. I never pulled an all-nighter, but some nights you have to stay up. Some nights you have to study while you're at the gym. Sometimes you can't work. I couldn't work that weekend. I had to study. So it just depends with how you view that. But I did a lot, especially the first year getting acclimated. Put a lot of time into study. Then once I got used to it and the game slowed down a little bit, I can fly here. You know, I can go on a little spring break here. I can work during the weekends there and come back for a quiz on Tuesday. You know, I can spin multiple plates. Once I got used to it. What should I do if I'm on the wait list for several schools? How can I avoid the wait list again? It's a 2-year program. It's a 2-year program. Oh. I don't know if that's the same question. I think it's the same question. If you're on the wait list, you can watch my video on the wait list on YouTube. YouTube, if you're subscribed, like, all that stuff, check out the video on the wait list on YouTube. But how can you avoid being on the wait list again? You can do as much as yourself to make yourself a predictable applicant. That's what you can do. So whatever they want, whatever they need, whatever they require, you say, God damn, I'm about to do that. If you need a 3.5 GPA, I'm going to do whatever I can with the cards I have dealt to get as close to that 3.5 as possible. If you care about community service, doggone it, I'm going to do whatever I can with the restrictions going on to show you that I have local community service, or I did something out the country, or whatever that is. I'm going to show you what you want so that you have no reason to put me on the wait list. Whatever they want, I'll give it to you. I'll be competitive to show you should accept me. I don't deserve to be on the wait list. Now, it's going to be tough for some people depending on your situation. Some people don't want to go through their obstacles that's really holding them back. Some people want to go around them. But if you want to avoid the wait list, that's what you got to do to stand out. And once you do that, once you go through those obstacles, then they're going to be like, dang, this person is impressive. This person is standing out. Because what they're saying and what they're seeing is this person busted their butt to get this 3.5 GPA. That is impressive. When a lot of pre-PTs are thinking, oh, I don't want to get a 3.5, but I'll give you 2,000 observation hours. And the school's like, the observation hours aren't impressive. The busting your butt to get a 3.5 GPA is impressive. So that really goes with, what does the school want? How much do you know the school? How well do you know the school? All that stuff goes into it, but that's how you can avoid the waitlist. Research. Do I avoid research? If you can do it, if it's easy, if it's not conflicting with your schedule, if it's easy on yourself and you can manage it, do research. But if it's like, oh, I can't find any research, if it's like, oh, I'm trying to get better grades and take the GRE and work, and I got to take care of my little brother, and I got to do this, or I got to take care of my kids, I can't do research, then don't do research. It's not a requirement. But if it's easy for you, if you're like, yeah, the professor down the hall asked us the other day, anybody interested in this research? And you're like, oh, I got time, then yeah. YouTube, what's up? If you got questions, drop them below. TikTok, if you don't know about YouTube, say hi to YouTube. YouTube, say hi to TikTok. PT student from the Philippines, what's up? Glad you're here. Thank you for answering our questions. You got it. Thanks for being here. Share with your friends. Thanks for asking the question. There was a time where when we first started pre-PT grind, I was like, why is nobody asking us questions? But like, I would die for this. Like, this is crazy. Sometimes I can't still believe it, but there was a time where I was like, oh, please, just somebody engage with us, know us, like ask us something. And so I'm grateful. I'm grateful. Not receiving feedback from schools. I got rejection letters, but no reasons why. Send us a DM. Send us a DM or no, just and send us a DM. Tell us about what's going on. Go to the link in our bio and watch the masterclass that we did today if you haven't already. That's going to help you a lot, especially after being rejected without a cause or without a reason why. Then go to acceptancenavigator.com as well. So number one, again, watch the replay of our masterclass. Link is in our bio on Instagram, for YouTube on our Instagram. TikTok, it's right there. Link is in the bio, either one. Then go to acceptancenavigator.com. Both of those are going to help you a lot. Then we can talk after that. What PT school are you going to? I already finished. I'm so glad I finished. I finished in 2018. I went to Andrews University. So you can kind of see it in the background of some of my TikToks. So I finished PT school in 2018. I've been a physical therapist since I passed my boards in 2018. So I'm a PT. I went to Andrews University. It's in Southwest Michigan. This little thing costs a lot of money. But I'm basically, if you want to call it debt-free, I basically have more in my accounts and assets than I do student loans. So if I wanted to liquidate all my assets and pay it all off today, I could and be just fine. So it costs a lot, but I made it worth it. You guys were talking about money and loans and student debt. I bet on myself. I took out a loan saying I will be able to pay this back. That's what you're doing when you go to undergrad or grad school or whatever, and you take out a loan for this thing, for undergrad or physical therapy. You're saying I'm betting on myself to pay this back. And that's what I did. And I'm only 2.5 years out of school. So yeah. Do you think PTs are underpaid? That's a good question. Yes, but my answer of yes comes from a different place. Hey, we got another YouTube comment. What's up, Jay? The real AJ. I'll get to you in a second. Are PTs underpaid? Yes, but it comes from a different place of me saying yes. Underpaid in terms of especially insurance, from the insurance model, from the Medicare model, from the Medicaid model, from the standard healthcare model. Yes, we're underpaid because of how reimbursements and the insurance contracts are made and all that fancy stuff. Yes, we're underpaid from there. However, we do not have to be underpaid. You can always do something on your own because it's your license, or you can do something on the side to supplement your underpaidness, and you cannot be then underpaid. Or you can negotiate your salary by learning about all this Medicare insurance stuff, how home health is different from outpatient and blah, blah, blah. You can learn about all that stuff and take that to them and say, I know all of this, and because I know all of this, I can be more valuable to you in this way, meaning I can bring you more money in this way so you can pay me more. If I can bring you more money, can you pay me more? Yes, cool. All right, we're good. So yes, if you're going to be lackadaisical, yes, we're underpaid. If you just think of it just from, Googling, oh, what's PT salary? Yes, you can argue that. But on the other hand, you don't have to be underpaid. Good question, though. Great question. Did I get into PT school the first time? No, I was rejected the first time. If you go to our YouTube channel, what's up, YouTube? You can see my rejection story. Just type in pre-PT grind rejection story, and you'll hear about my rejection story. I got in the second time. All right, the real AJ, what's going on YouTube? I graduated in the fall with a 3.67 GPA, but last 60 hours were amazing. Averaged A's. Right now I'm taking and retaking prereqs at a community college. Any advice? Our whole platform is full of advice, so absorb all our content, but you're in a good place. That's the advice I would give. Keep it up, keep it as high as possible. Don't step off the gas. That's probably my best advice. Don't step out off the gas. Keep your GPA as high as possible. Keep pushing it. You're at a community college right now, which is great, saving you money. When you move on to any university to get your bachelor's, keep your foot on the gas. Don't let that GPA slip, because anybody who's applying with a lower GPA, they would kill for that. So don't give it up easily. That's what I would say. Then all the other advice is just listen to us. We drop gems all the time. We give little nuggets here and there. We got everything. So other than that, I just say consume all of our content. Let's see. What kind of PT do I do? Why don't I participate in home health? So I'm an outpatient physical therapist. Home health, I have nothing wrong with home health. I can definitely see myself doing home health in the future. With the job I chose right out of school, I just liked the vibe. I liked the benefits they gave us. I liked the mentorship they gave us at the time. I liked being in an outpatient clinic. I liked the energy there. I liked the different patients I saw. Home health technically would have paid more, but I'm doing fine right now. So there's nothing wrong with home health. I like home health. Home health is cool. But that's why I don't do it, if that answers the question. Any tips for a pre-PT undergrad student? Everything. Everything that we talk about. If you're on this live stream, tips all the way. My question back to you, if you're still on, Edwin, what kind of tips are you looking for? Because I can go 10 hours talking about tips. So let me know if you're still on. What are you struggling with? That'd be my question back to you. Going to do that today. Thanks so much. You're welcome. I'm killing it. I'm killing it. What? I'm killing it. Thank you. What kind of PT? Oh, I'm an outpatient PT. Why PT versus PTA? It's just what you want. It's just what you want. So if you want, so I'll break it down like this. PTAs can do basically 85, 90%, somewhere in there, of what a PT can do. The only thing a PTA can't do, and this depends on the state, it depends on the state. So a PTA cannot do evaluations, and they technically cannot do manipulations like cracking backs. Seth, what's up? You're on YouTube? I'm guessing YouTube and TikTok, or you went on TikTok to YouTube. What's up, Seth? What's up, YouTube? PT versus PTA. Oh, so PTAs can do basically everything except initial evals and technically manipulations. Everything else a PTA can do. So it depends what you want. Yes, a PT makes more technically, but a PTA, depending on their experience and what their setting is, it might be pretty close. So it depends. Do you want the title? Do you want the evaluations? Do you want the autonomy? Do you want to work under somebody or not? Do you want kind of a glass ceiling? But again, PTAs can own their own business. Business is business. You don't have to have a title for it. I co-own a business with Joseph. I didn't need a license to own this business pre-PT grind. So it just depends on what you want. There's no right or wrong. They're both great careers. Moving to a new city with student loans. Let's hear it. That's what I'm talking about, Seth. Stephanie, what's going on you? I'll get to your question in a second, but I like this. This is cool. Moving to a new city. So as a PT student, I guess technically I moved to a new city, but it was about an hour and away. And an hour and a half away from my house. Just it's money management. So this question, or the advice to this question, is more financial advice. So how much do you know about money? What's your ideas around money? How do you live? Do you have an expensive lifestyle? Can you keep your expenses low? Are you single? Are you married? Do you have parental support? Do you have spousal support? As I say, keep your expenses low. listen to a lot of money YouTube or TikTok advice of how to do it. But a new city is a new city, whether you're in PT school with loans or med school with loans, or move to a new city because of a spouse. Um, a new city is a new city. Enjoy it, take it all in, enjoy the city for what it is, explore, and see if you want to be there for a while after you graduate. So um, just learn about it, enjoy it, take it all in, but don't go crazy on the money side. That's all. So yeah, good question, but that's what I'd say. Enjoy it, take it all in, learn about the new environment, learn about the new city, talk to locals, visit new spots, but don't go broke, or don't rack up a bunch of loans where you're saying, "Dang, how did I get $250,000 in debt?" Oh yeah, it was because I took this super expensive rent, and whatever. You're not annoying, Lauren. You're good. You're good. Oh, I was gonna get to Stephanie's question. I've come across several internship opportunities, but I have no relevant experience, so I'm still underqualified. How can I begin that journey? So, if you're still on, Stephanie, tell me more about what you mean by internship opportunities that you're underqualified for, so I can help you a little bit better. What are underqualified for? What kind of internship is it? That's what I want to know. So if you're still on, Stephanie, I love to answer it. But let me get a little bit more context, so I know what you're underqualified for, so we can talk about how to begin that journey. Let's see. They just don't teach us this, but would working in other medical jobs stand out? It could. It could. It's the same thing with other medical jobs, other certifications, um, getting this major, all of that stuff. It can help you stand out if you have the foundation you need. My only fear with answering these types of questions, like, does this help me stand out? Yes, it could. But I don't want you guys to take that, oh, getting another medical job as a medical scribe or a surgical tech, Casey said on TikTok and YouTube, that'll help me stand out. So let me go and get that and neglect me working on bumping my GPA up from a 3.1 to a 3.3. I'd much rather you work on bumping your GPA up from a 3.2 to a 3.4 rather than you're scared of it and because you don't want to do it and saying, oh, I'm just going to get this medical job and neglect the other stuff. That's my only thing. Medical jobs help you stand out, yes. Certifications, yes. Yes to all of it, yes. If you got that requirement, because I don't know if you were the same person who was talking about wait lists, but if you are the same person, that if you don't got what they want, they're going to wait list you or reject you, and the computer system is going to get to it before they even look at your application. So yeah. Is it smarter to be a PTA before a PT? It's not necessarily smarter. It might be smarter for your situation, but it's not smarter. It's not just smarter. If you have a family and you have a mortgage to pay and you want to go the DPT route in a couple years, but you need a job right now, that might, for somebody in that specific situation, it might be super smart. Hey, honey, I need to get this job. It's a 2-year degree. It's my associates. While I'm doing that, I can work on the side. While I'm a PTA and PTAs get this much, I'm going to go to the highest setting. Boom, boom, bam. I'm going to save up some money. We're going to be good. The house is going to be all paid off. Then I'm going to go get my DPT and have half of it paid off from this PTA job. That might be a very smart decision for that person. But if you're just like, oh man, PT school is so hard to get into, I'm just going to get into PTA school, then hopefully, or being a PTA, they're going to accept me because I'm a PTA and I'm just going to slide into PT school. I don't know. It could still be smart for you, but that's my only concern with it. Which camp are you in? What's the path for becoming a neonatal NICU PT after PT school? The benefit of being a PT is that there is no strict path. If you want to be a neonatal NICU PT, you apply for the job and see if they'll hire you. What you can do is see during school if you can get clinical rotations in a hospital or clinical rotations in a pediatric setting or a pediatric side of the hospital, or if you're in a hospital rotation and you tell your CI, oh, I'm really interested in pediatrics, maybe for half of that or for 2 times a week or whatever, you can go to the pediatrics section of the hospital or the children's hospital across the street and see what's up. I mean, that can help a lot, but it's not like undergrad PT school, neonatal residency, neonatal fellowship. I go to Northwestern University and they're going to automatically accept me as a neonatal pediatrics PT. I mean, technically, somewhere out there it could work like that, but it doesn't have to be. It doesn't have to be. So that's a joy I love about PT. You can hop out with your DPT degree, 1 degree, and you can do whatever you want. You can go pediatrics, you can go neonatal, you can go sports, you can go grandma, you can teach on TikTok and YouTube, you can do whatever. Like, you know. Hey, appreciate the love, Seth. Seth is saying Casey's unmatched. Appreciate it. Let me get to these comments. I have basic skills you get from other jobs. Resume is not what they want. So this question, if you're just joining on TikTok, this question is referring to an internship opportunity, but they're underqualified. I'm still interested in what internship you're talking about. Seth has some good advice for you, though. Seth is saying, I've been in an internship kind of opportunity with no previous experience for the technical job, but he was honest and transparent about that, and they really value honesty. Yeah, you can go in that way. But if you know what internship it is and what skills they want, you can go get those skills. So I'm interested to know what kind of internship is it, and can you go get those skills off of Google, off of Harvard free certifications, off of, you know, CPR certifications, lifeguard certifications. My question is, can you get those skills that they want? That's my question. All right, we're waiting for more questions from TikTok. I know they're gonna boom. This is cool though. YouTube, we got it was ranging between like 16. Well, it's 16 now. It was at like 22 people on TikTok. Before we got 4 people on YouTube. So I'm gonna keep doing this. I'm gonna see how consistent I can be. I won't be able to be on here every single Sunday, but I might switch it up between like some Sundays, some Wednesdays. We go on Instagram and Facebook Live on Thursdays. So we're like a full media company. Like, we're just a media company that happens to talk about pre-PT and PT stuff. But it's like, I got my laptop, I got my light, it's recording all day, every day. I got so much respect for like big TikTokers and big YouTubers. Like, of course, this isn't like a coal mining job, or you're not a surgeon saving somebody's life, but I got so much respect for them because it's also not easy. It also takes a lot of work to do a bunch of content. So I got a lot of respect. So whoever you like on TikTok or YouTube, show them a like, show them a comment, give them some love. YouTube, I have certifications from when I was in when you were a preschool teacher, but they don't relate directly to PT. Should I still include them in certifications? Yeah, you can. Yeah, go for it. Yeah, nothing wrong with that. Yeah, go for it. I'd say yes. Nothing wrong with that. All right, tactics. Let's see what questions y'all got here. Yo, pre-PT dude, where are you in school at? Max 16 for this thing to say I'm done with school. I graduated in 2018. I'm a licensed physical therapist now. You can call me Dr. Casey if you want, but nobody really calls me that. But I'm technically a doctor. It says doctor on this expensive piece of paper. So I graduated. Love watching your videos. I'm in my last 4 weeks of a PTA. program. Congrats. Almost done. 2 weeks away becoming an OTA PTA. I have a job lined up in my city. That's what's up. Who is this? Mike Connick. I like the name. OTA PTA. That's cool. OTA PTA. Shoot, do your thing. Do your thing. PTA or ATC would be a great fit to work before going to PT school. I get my ATC. Best decision. I love it. I love it. I love it. I have a placement next fall in acute care in a hospital. What should I be expecting? Acute care, hospital. What should you be expecting? A different world. Who's asking this? Saints fan. So if you've been in an outpatient setting already, just expect the hospital to be a different world. That's all I have to say. You're going to see some things. You're going to learn about some things depending on the hospital, and it's going to be different. And it takes a different vocabulary, a different mindsets. When you're in the hospital, this is what I can say. Your job as a PT in the hospital, yes, is to do all your PT stuff. But the main thing they're looking for, the main thing you're there for, your expertise is for discharges. That's what I learned in the hospital. If you're a hospital PT, yes, you're doing all the rehab, PT stuff, all that stuff. But your main expertise, they want you there for your expertise on discharge. Is this patient safe to go home? Or do they need to go to a subacute rehab? Or do they need to stay in the hospital? That is what they want your expertise for. Where should we send this patient? Because we don't want to send them to the wrong place or keep them here because that'll cost us more money. Your expertise is needed for discharge. That's what I would say for the hospital. That was kind of eye-opening. Once I kind of learned about the business of the hospital and saw what we were really doing and saw how the notes and the documentation in the hospital went, I was like, wait, all right, cool. So that's what I would. Sorry, I have to listen on TikTok because my YouTube is lagging, but I believe they are a rehab tech internship. Yeah, so just learn what they want and what they need. But yeah, listen to Steph. Steph, listen to Seth. If you guys want to connect off YouTube, definitely Seth is the man. So yeah, definitely connect with him. About to start a new internship. Biggest do for a resume and biggest don't for resumes. Biggest don't, grammar problems, spelling problems, bad format, very clumped up, not presentable. You can have more than one page, but if you keep it one page, that's the best. We have some resumes on our desk at work. I mean, they all look the same. There's so much advice about resumes. Oh, don't do this, don't do that. If you got the stuff on there, it's great. No spelling errors. It looks good. So yeah, biggest do. I mean, biggest do is basically kind of what I already said, but I'd say also make sure you put the month on there. So let's just say you had a job in 2020. When in 2018 and 2020? May 2018 to June 2020. That can help them a lot see the job discrepancy. Because if you just have 2018 to 20, then you have another job from 20 to 21 or whatever, they're going to be like, why do you have multiple jobs? Were you fired? Are you working both jobs? So yeah, good question though, but just keep it simple. Don't overthink the resume. Don't put any fluff on there either. Keep it relevant to the job. That's what I'll say. Biggest tip there, keep it relevant to the job. 2-year accelerated hybrid program. That's what Baylor is, and I'm interested. If you watch my YouTube video on hybrid programs, that video is for you, Lauren. That video is for you, Lauren. So check out my video, hybrid programs / online programs. If you just type in pre-PT grind, online hybrid programs, You'll find it. Clinical rotations within the years of the program, how does it balance with classes? So when you're on clinical rotations, you do not have classes. When you have classes, you do not have clinical rotations. Some schools mix it up, like, oh, year 1, classes, year 2, clinicals slash class. Then you go back out on clinicals, then full class. My school did all classes in the beginning. What's up, YouTube? I see your question, Tanya. What's up, Tanya? What's up? What was I saying? What was the question? Clinicals. I'm getting tired, y'all. I'm forgetting the question. Clinicals. My school did all the brunt work, meaning lecture, didactic work, at the beginning. Then we did our clinicals throughout our 3rd year, our last year. So that's how it works. How far back in years? What's up, Tanya? How far back in years to include on the resume? Example, a job from 2016. Should you include that, or is it too far back? If it's relevant, Tanya, if it's relevant, yeah, you can include it. You can also send me the resume on Voxer. Send me the resume on Voxer and we can go through it. Tanya's in the accepted system. If you want to learn about the accepted system, Seth is in the accepted system already as well. If you want to learn about that, link is in the bio. Watch the masterclass. That's our coaching program. So they're killing it. But yeah, if it's relevant, then send me a picture of the resume, Tanya. Difficult to find a legit and good company to work for in the home health. Is it difficult? I don't think so. I think they just might try to lowball you. If you go to Facebook and join the Home Health Mentor group, that's Brandon Smith's group, or if you go on YouTube and type in Brandon Smith Home Health, listen to his stuff, join his group, learn from him. I got his course, so if I ever want to go into home health, I can learn from that. But I have his course. He has a YouTube channel. Join his Facebook group. Say what's up. I saw Casey on TikTok. He said to follow you about home health. He has a TikTok too. I think his name might be Brandon Smith on TikTok. But yeah, check him out. Check him out. Check him out. Hey, somebody followed us. If you're on here, give us a follow. Drop us a like. Give us a subscribe. Y'all know what to do. Y'all know the internet stuff. That's what's up. Thank you. What DPT programs did I apply to? Andrews University, Loma Linda, Midwestern University. I did not apply to University of Illinois at Chicago. Rosalind Franklin. I forgot. This was back. I applied back in 2014, guys. And it's 2021. Those are the ones I remember. I got into Loma Linda and, of course, Andrews University. The other schools wanted me for an interview, like later on in the spring, but I got accepted to 2 schools in like October/September. So I didn't even need those interviews. That's what I remember, though. Marcy Post. Dr. Casey, what's up? Is it Mark? Marcy Post? Mark Post? What's up? How's it going? All right. Did I get them all? I start clinicals tomorrow. So nervous, can't sleep. Have fun. Have fun. Have fun. Have fun. No need to be too nervous. Respect. I just finished 2nd year of PT school. You give good advice for future practitioners. Appreciate the love. Gray Mac 16, appreciate the love. That's what I'm talking about. How does clinical rotations during the program go? I got that one. I think we did it. I think I'm good. Round of applause. Thanks for hanging in there, guys. If you have more questions, drop them for a second. But I think I'll call it a day. What's it been? YouTube says we've been on here for 1 hour and 6 minutes. I think this is the most we've had on. This is the most I've had on TikTok for long. Usually it comes down as I get closer to 1 hour. But thanks for hanging in there. If you have any other questions, send us a DM, comment on a post on YouTube, follow us everywhere. We got stuff. Y'all know how the internet works. Y'all know how to follow people. Do your thing. We got podcasts. We got downloads. We got websites. We got the full thing. So do your thing. how the internet is supposed to do the thing. So yeah, thanks for joining. If you're gonna send us a DM on TikTok, make sure your privacy settings are open. And yeah, I just discovered you guys and I've gotten so many answers in a day. That's what I'm talking about. Steph, follow us everywhere. Follow us everywhere. We got advice, we got answers all the time. So yes. Thanks for all you guys do. Advice so helpful. Thanks for following. What did I major in? Exercise science. You're awesome. Thank you. You're awesome. Do you think I'll be able to get in with the 3.4 math and science GPA? Yes. But don't stop there. Don't have me saying yes and say, oh, Casey on TikTok and YouTube said yes. I don't have to do nothing else. Keep going. Don't take your foot off the gas. Don't take your foot off the gas. But yes, you can get in with the 3.4, depending on what school you apply to. I'll say that as well. All right, guys. I will see y'all when I see y'all. I'll post this around. It'll be saved live, all that stuff. I'll post it on Instagram when I'm coming live again. Currently a PT Tech, love it. That's what inspired me. I love it. I love it. Tanya, we got a Tanya White. We got a Tanya Cerna. That's what I'm talking about. All right, guys. See you later. Follow us everywhere. Take care.